and welcome to our second BBC School Report programme, where we have a stack full of school events to bring you, including sport, drama, debating, quizzes, playtime and plenty of fundraising activities.
We'll also tackle a local issue, out of school, and that's where we'll start. What a wet winter it has been. The winter's record rainfall. It hasn't just affected the pitches and flooded the rivers, it has also damaged the roads, as Oliver and William explain.
Yes, we've been looking at potholes like these which have been seen all over the country this winter. Cars have to slow down or swerve to avoid them, and some are downright dangerous. This one is over 10 centimetres deep and could do serious damage to a car. I can even fit my whole hand in it.
So, we met up with Toby and Earl from KCC Highways and asked them how many potholes they had to deal with this winter.
And during February we did about 3,500 pothole jobs.
Wow.
It could be 30,000 potholes in a month.
Exactly how do you repair the potholes?
We put signs out, etc., to make sure it's safe working for them and for the general public who are still trying to use the road. So firstly they sweep all the debris out of the potholes. We then saw cut the edges, so you've got a nice saw cut straight edges, a little bit like this table, that's what they would do there. They would then compact hot bituminous material in, and they use a machine like you see on the pictures here to whack it in and compact it.
What's happening here about this pothole?
Right, as you can see, we've recently been out here and we've repaired these large areas of road which are deteriorated. There is more work required. If you can see, there's some white lines around the areas there that have still got potholes. The problem is with this is we're going to need a full road closure to carry out these repairs safely because they're in the middle of the road.
So the Hawkhurst Road may have to be closed to finish mending these, and Earl recalled rescuing a driver in Slip Mill Lane this year who ignored the road closed signs.
We sometimes have to close roads, as you see here. We bury the roads off because there isn't the width to actually carry the work out safely for the guys, and we'd have to put a diversion route in. And we often do have cars still trying to drive through our diversions, our road closures. For one instance recently, we've had a car end up on its roof because it drove through a flood. And it was obviously too deep and it ended up swimming down the road.
How do you report a problem?
You can either phone KCC's 24/7 contact centre, or you can now go online and you can report a pothole online, and you can actually plot it on a map and show exact locations of where the potholes is. You will receive a unique reference number and you can then track the history and the lifespan of your job until it's actually repaired.
Thank you. Thank you very much for
You're more than
That's no problem.
Right, so I found the KCC website. We report a problem. If we click here, it's going to work.
Let's locate it on the map. Type in Hawkhurst.
So all these yellow triangles of faults have been reported, and they're all over everywhere. Oh, and this is R1 here. Oh look, yes, it has already been reported. It has a number. What's the number? 45602295.
That means if we want to see again, we can type in that number and find out what's been done about it.
It sounds like you reckon they're doing a pretty good job.
Well, they're getting an extra £2.5 million from the government, which helps. And this online system's helped them reduce the time to fix potholes down to 12 days.
12 days? That's a long time to wait for a dangerous one like you showed us at the start.
Yes, they did say that if they judged it as dangerous, they would fix it within 2 hours.
Great! Now you know what to do if you see a dangerous pothole. Report it online at KCC Highways website. Back to school news now. And Georgie, you've got a couple of books with you, I see. In Book Week, Mrs. Atkins invited 2 authors, Karen McCombie for the juniors and Andy Briggs for the seniors, to talk to the school about their books. Andy Briggs gave a really lively talk on his new book, Tarzan. It was really fun. He made us join in and go woo 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 to see what type of books we liked. And I gather you come across some strange characters around Marlborough House this time.
I'm Georgina from the Famous Five, and I'm a girl, but I want to be a boy, so I don't answer unless you call me George.
Okay, George.
I am Snowy from Tintin, and I'm a dog. I'm Robin from Robin Hood. I'm Matilda from Matilda.
Harry, hello, who are you?
Bilbo Baggins! And here's the special ring. The special ring. I'm a werewolf cowboy! Yeah! I'm Pippi Longstocking. I'm Puss in Boots.
Hello.
No.
I know who you are.
We had quite a few Wallies. I wonder if you can work out which one is real.
And for organising this popular event, a big thank you to Mrs. Atkins, or should I say Mary Poppins. It's one of my favourite things.
And in answer to that Wally question, it was Oliver. He was the only one who had a stick.
We'll go over to the Hopkins Hall now, where Lucy went to see the Year 6 debate. Lucy? The debate started with Daisy and Eliza singing the praises of cycling, with Gabriel and Luke against the motion.
Imagine something that is 100 times less expensive than a car, a fun way to travel and keeps you healthy. Oh wait, there is. It's called a bicycle.
So it's fun, it's free, and it's a fabulous way to travel. It's healthy and keeps you fit, and it makes you happy. It's also much safer. So if you have a bike, get on it.
Hello, my name's Luke Pierre, and I strongly disagree cycling to work. Why should you use a car when you can get hot, sweaty and exhausted on a bicycle? You can abandon the sweet, cooling embrace of the air conditioning, the comfort of the leather seats, and the speed of the gleaming automobile for a dangerous ride on a skinny metal frame. Look at this. Cyclists create army of walking wounded. Think about the people walking around with cycling injuries, how they can be crippled for life.
Overall, cycling is fun and makes you fit, healthy and happy. What else do you need?
Gabriel, did you say 118 people died in 2012, and then Luke, you said something like 3,000 were seriously injured? And it's like quite a big difference.
3,000 were seriously injured.
But he said all killed.
That's including the killed people.
Yes.
With the votes being counted, Max and Serena prepare to praise the internet, opposed by Charles and Eleanor, who don't seem to like it at all.
Everyone here today has used the internet at least this week. Did you know that a whopping 36 million British people use the internet in a day? That's a mind-blowing 73% of the population.
It opens up new horizons for every person who wants to be cruel, scary and unpleasant. It is the hiding place of playground bullies and criminals.
You can build relationships with new friends and stay in touch with the old.
We looked all over the place to find information. We asked some of the teachers, but we mainly found out stuff from newspapers and books.
And we're only 11.
It means that Audrey are overall winners this evening, so well done to Audrey.
So well done to Audrey, overall winners, but especially well done to all the speakers. Weren't they good? And a huge thanks to Mrs. McWilliams, who arranged it all. Thanks, Lucy. That was impressive. Now for something less intellectual. Rosie?
Well, yes, you might think that Lego is just a toy for little ones, but we sent reporters, Oliver and William, to see the middle school Lego event, and they were so distracted they couldn't keep their hands off it. I just hope they've got a report for us.
Well, obviously we do have a report, but it was cool, wasn't it?
It was so cool. I ended up making a petrol station. Anyway, take a look at this.
20 to 10. Pour the Lego out. What you've got to think is, am I going to make it with a sloping roof or am I going to make it with a flat roof?
After building their basic houses, they have got the wires and bulbs out to illuminate them.
Yes.
It looks like there's a fire on.
Yeah. Me and Will are making...
Yeah, there's a chair shop just there, but the door hinges are gone. And then someone lives up there.
Oh, that's quite cool. And then all sorts of things were created. Boats, gardens, towers, verandas, even diving boards, football pitches and railways.
And before long, we had this awesome village stretching right round two sides of the hall.
I just dropped something. Oh. I know. Harry, where's your lighthouse?
So I made a house with a drive and I made a car to go in the drive. Me and Tilly made a McDonald's.
A McDonald's, anybody else?
I made a house with a swimming pool and a drivey thing, and we made a KFC. Made a KFC. Yeah, and I made a lighthouse. Made a park. And I made out of Lego. I made a house, and then I made this public swimming pool, like a beverage thing. But I really liked it because we could do build what we wanted and build we were really free. Yeah.
It was awesome. I hope the seniors can do it next year.
That looked great fun. And you were reporting on the next event as well, weren't you?
Yes, we did our sport relief mile with a camera, which was a bit tricky.
And Mr. Davidson nearly got trampled by the masses at the start.
We're going to go at about a minute or so's interval. We're going to go around the school grounds.
The entire senior school set off enthusiastically for the run in aid of sports relief, though some didn't spot the cameraman in the way.
Easy. That's my bike. Whoa!
How's it going? Good? Well, sweaty, man. This is going on BBC School Report. Girls. Four-legged race. Eight-legged race.
We raised over £2,100 from the run, as well as from all the cake sales. And after that, we had a fitness workout in the Hopkins Hall, which included skipping, squats and burpees.
Tom found it rather strenuous.
How did you find that? It was well sweaty, man.
We'll have further reports on sport relief in the second half of the programme, as we find out a bit more about Davina's challenge for this year. And we've also had a few Year 8s running in Cranbrook to raise money as well. More on that later. On to sport now, and once again, the hockey teams have had an amazing success. Charles reports from the Astro.
Yes, sir. A good shot from Rowan there, followed by great passing, leading to Will's goal for the Colts Bees. got to the national final. Here's Captain Jack.
So which competition did you get into first?
Well, we got into the regionals, we played there, we did really well, we came third, it was very exciting.
So then where did you go?
We went to the nationals on the 10th of March to go and play all against the sides in England.
That's impressive. How did you do there?
Well, we came 13th out of 20 odd. And then, but we played good. Well, we played some good matches and some bad matches.
Well done.
Okay.
And now for the first team. Captain Will, tell us all.
So, you got into the national finals. How did you do that?
Well, we started off by going to Tonbridge, where we played quite a few matches there. It was a good tournament. We came fourth in the end. We just third. We came second in our group, and then we won the quarter-final and lost the semi-final to St Bede's.
So the top 5 went through to what? And where did you go?
We went to Millfield, and we stayed at Premier Inn the night before because it's 4 hours away, which was good fun. Yeah, a little sleep there. And then we won the semi-final against Arding Live 4-2, and then we won the final against Port Regis 1-0, and this is the trophy. Oh, very small.
And don't be fooled by their modesty. It's a terrific achievement to get to the nationals. Just think how many schools there must be in the country going for it. Well done, guys.
Thanks, Charles. Now we'll have a look at a couple of clubs we do at MHS. One of them's new, isn't it, Daisy?
But first, let's go to the art room and see Mrs. Fields helping the girls make some bags.
I hate this
Okay. So, what are you making? We are making bags, and I'm making my pattern now with patches.
What do you have to sew?
They have to sew the paper onto that, and then when all of this is together, then we unpick the tacking and take the paper out.
There's quite a skill to sewing by hand, and Imogen is using the machine to make the handle of her bag.
Hello, Imogen. What are you doing?
I'm sewing a handle. You do it like inside out, and then once you've sewed it, you put it the other way around. What I did was I stitched this by hand together, and then I got a sewing machine and sewed the rest together.
Now, you might not have heard of this new club, which for safety reasons has to be held out of school, near the Rollin pub. This is the new mountain climbing club. Connor is in charge.
This club is not funny.
Take your time.
It is extremely dangerous. Only the brave or foolish should sign up for this. One mistake could be fatal. One safety feature overlooked could cause certain death. And remember, this club is not funny.
Charles is its first member. He is learning the skills fast.
Can I join? One at a time. And remember, this club is not funny.
Damn right it isn't!
No!
And what sort of club do you call this?
It's not funny!
Very funny. I really thought he'd fallen then, didn't you? Not. Other events that happened over the year were the various maths quizzes.
They are quite active, as Charles found out when he went to Yardley Court to see the boffins from years 5 and 6 in action.
Well, what happens is your team is given a question, and when you think you've got the answer, one of you runs round to get it marked. If it's right, you collect the next question. If not, you're allowed to try again, as many times as you like. Part of the skill is judging when to give up on a question. After a slow start, our teams did really well. MH, that's us. Now, joint leaders. Our Year 5 team ended up runners-up. Year 6 ended 7th out of 20. Great fun and exhausting for the run.
We said we'd return with more sport relief stuff. First, it can't have escaped your notice that Davina's had a huge challenge this year. Running, cycling and swimming. A total of 500 miles in 7 days. We sent our reporters to find out more. First, for Mrs. Fox, who supported Davina during her trials.
So we travelled up to Derby one day to meet Davina on her 90-mile day, a long cycle day, which was on the Wednesday, day 5, because she was really sort of exhausted by that stage and starting to flag. So I think she was really excited to sort of have some friends to meet her and to encourage her along the way. I think it's absolutely amazing what she did. Absolutely incredible. You know, after 32 miles, which is all I did, so we did about a third of the day. And I felt pretty tired and pretty exhausted. And for Davina to have done that before she even met us, and then we left her just north of Birmingham, she had to do another 32 miles. And by then, you could hardly stand up in the car park. The wind was so strong.
This morning to be interviewing the amazing Davina McCall, who has just finished her incredible Sport Relief Challenge. So Davina, when did you first get involved in Sport Relief?
Maybe 6 or 7 years ago, because, well, it must be, no, 8, because I was pregnant with Chester. Right. 8. Yeah, so on the first ever Sport Relief, I got an enormous tummy.
And what about this year's challenge?
But I was so nervous. You know, like, I don't know if you ever have tests or exams or something, and you just think, oh, that's how I felt. I mean, this is going to sound a bit dramatic, but it is how I felt. I was really frightened of dying.
Yeah,
that sounds really a bit silly, but I knew that the swim was going to be quite dangerous. And I kept thinking, oh, I'm 46, I mean, I'm quite old. I'm not like a spring chicken, I'm not in my 20s.
Was it nice to see like your friends?
Oh, well, obviously Mrs. Fox and Sharon came to join me. Oh, it meant a lot that day, because they came on probably, everybody thinks, oh my goodness, the swim, that must have been the worst day. But actually this day, for me, emotionally, was the worst day. The weather was so bad. By this point, I'd already cycled 30 miles in awful weather, in very, very hilly terrain. And they were coming to join me for the next 30. And honestly, I've never been so happy to see 2 people.
She spoke of an 11-year-old girl she met in the Kenya slums 15 years ago and told us how Sport Relief had helped her.
I recently met a girl in Kenya, right? This is a nice story. How old are you guys?
10.
11, okay, perfect, 10, 11. So I met a girl in the slums, and she was 11, so she was exactly your type of age. And she didn't go to school, she had no money, this was in a slum. Anyway, I met her again this last time. She's 26 now, and she went to school. Then she went to university. At university, she met her husband, who's a doctor. He was training to be a doctor. And now they've started up an orphanage for children with disabilities. So we all raised money and we helped one girl. And now this one girl is helping literally hundreds.
Finally, she admitted she would find Daisy and Rosie's sponsored silence really difficult.
You think that's fun? I think that would be the hardest thing. A sponsored silence. That's a nightmare.
I tried yesterday and I was like, this is hard in the first 5 seconds.
I don't think I could do it.
We had some runners of our own raising money. Just 6 miles, but still a challenge.
Henry, George and Rory, together with friend Peter from Homewood House, took part in the 6-mile run starting at Highfield Academy.
You organised this a little bit. How can we donate? What happens?
Well, if you go on the Sport Relief website, you can go on on our page and just donate.
So you've got your own page. Have you raised some money so far?
Yeah. We've raised £450.
Way, brilliant. Well done.
They seemed quite organised when getting ready for their run, but were they really listening when told the directions?
4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Hi Henry, how do you feel? I'll run with you for a minute. Keep going. How do you feel, alright?
Yeah, all good. My shoes are quite muddy though.
Has it been wet?
Yes.
Peter's pretty strong, he's gone on ahead.
Peter's been really good.
It's harder than the school cross country.
Yeah, it's quite a bit harder.
Spot Mr. Davidson's dog.
It's a wave. How you doing?
Fine, thank you, sir. Fine.
Well done.
Well done then. If you can find your way to their Sport Relief page, you'll find that their total is now over £500, and there is still time to donate yourselves.
Year 8's in action again from our last piece of action from the school. You don't just need acting training for the school play these days, as Stacey's found out.
That's right, Connor. I found Ben giving sword fighting lessons all over the place during rehearsals.
1, 2, 3, okay. 1, 2, 3, now front. Now stop circling. Yeah. Now double.
This year's play was a musical Macbeth, which had not just sword fighting, but singing, dancing, murders and mayhem. Oh, thanks for that, Angus.
Well, I become king in the end, if that's a good thing.
That's a spoiler.
Yeah, that's quite good. But yeah, I don't get killed, which is quite... There are a lot of people get killed in this play. I don't, but yeah.
I am drunk, and I come on after Duncan's been killed. It's quite a serious moment.
I get to kill Macbeth, and that's probably the best bit.
That's the best bit.
Yeah, especially killing Matthew.
How did the dress rehearsal go?
It was good.
Not very well. No, it went awfully, Olivia. It was rubbish.
But perhaps the highlights were the witches. They certainly enjoyed getting made up, and their dancing was brilliant.
What's the best bits we're going to look out for?
Oh yeah, the opening's really good with the witches. The openings is like
his studio, and it doesn't feel like 12 months ago when we had our first BBC School Report, interviewing our headmaster and his wife, Mr. and Mrs. Hopkins. I think they're both shedding a tear at leaving, but of course, the school now has a new headmaster.
So we thought it would be fitting to give the last word to them. Mr. and Mrs. Ward, welcome to BBC School Report.
Mr. Ward, what did it feel like on your first day that you arrived?
A little bit scary, Will. A little bit scary. A little bit daunted. I felt very excited to be taking over what is clearly a top school. And I felt very honoured.
Mrs. Ward, how have been Tilly settling in? Have they enjoyed the move?
They've loved the move. They're so happy here. Tilly's done some reception and she's got lots of new friends, and Poppy's just started in the nursery and she goes in every day really happily.
You must be very proud of this academic year. There has been a lot of successes.
Well, it's been amazing. There have been so many successes, so many academic successes, the scholarships that we won to senior schools.
Yay!
Everybody passed their Cranbrook exam, and there have been so many successes on the sports field, in music, in drama, and in other areas of school life. I feel very proud about what's been achieved this term by our children.
What's been your highlight?
My highlight was seeing the carol service. For me it was absolutely lovely, having Eva Tillman walking down the aisle and singing her solo, all the candlelight. It was absolutely beautiful and breathtaking.
The carol service, everybody together, it was so beautiful, so very moving.
Mr. Wall, what challenges do you see ahead?
I think that's a very difficult question. I think one of the greatest challenges facing not just Marlborough House, but I think the whole of education, is to maintain a breadth in the curriculum. And I hope you feel that schools like Marlborough House, what we offer is the inculcation of values that are going to be of use to you, not just when you take GCSE and A-level, but as an adult, when you're 25 and beyond, that you can go on and lead lives that will be really purposeful and fulfilling. I think that's the greatest challenge facing schools like this.
Thank you for your time, and I bet you're looking forward to the holidays.
Certainly not.
So that's it for this year. I hope you enjoyed the programme.
From all of us here in the BBC School Report studio, goodbye and have a great holiday.
Bye!